Power of the Mind. The Secret DNA. Introduction. Welcome to this journey of exploration and transformation. In writing this book, my goal was to create something that feels relatable and accessible to all kinds of readers, no matter your background or beliefs. This book is designed to integrate psychological principles with spiritual insights, creating a unique framework for understanding and addressing the complexities of our emotions. It aims to provide resolutions for those grappling with their feelings, offering practical strategies for those looking to expand their mindset. I encourage you to approach this text with an open mind. If you find that some sections resonate with Christian teachings, I hope you see that there are solid principles here that can offer spiritual enlightenment, even if you don't identify as Christian. And if some ideas seem more aligned with New Age perspectives, don't worry. I'll address those topics directly and highlight the differences between those beliefs and what you'll find in this book. Throughout this text, I will frequently refer to the concept of spaciousness. This choice of terminology is not suggesting a disbelief in heaven as a tangible reality or dimension that can be experienced. Rather, when I speak of space, I draw on the meanings of the word heaven in both Greek and Hebrew, where it can represent the atmosphere, or more specifically, the spiritual realm associated with heaven. My belief is that heaven is not confined to a distant place, rather it is interwoven with our very existence. Jesus taught that the kingdom of heaven is within us, saying, "Don't look here or there." You may think because there is a distinction between heaven and earth that this makes them separate. However, this is just to highlight the distinction between the physical and the immaterial realms. But make no mistake, heaven is just as much within you as it is around you. Since God is omnipresent, it follows that heaven is everywhere. Thus, heaven resides within the space we inhabit, within us, and in the vastness surrounding us. There is nowhere in creation that space does not touch. This understanding leads me to assert that there is nowhere that heaven is absent, just as there is nowhere God is not. When I metaphorically represent spiritual heaven as spaciousness, I do so to emphasize that this concept invites us to experience heaven in a more tangible and accessible manner. While I cherish the thought of mystical encounters with heaven, imagining walking along streets of gold, meeting angelic beings, and experiencing the presence of Yeshua in person, these experiences may not always be easily attainable. Not everyone has reached a state where such encounters can be summoned at will. However, one thing we can always do is be present in this moment and acknowledge that heaven surrounds us and resides within us amidst this spaciousness. By focusing on this concept of spaciousness, I aim to shift our attention away from the notion that we must look skyward or strive to attain a particular mystical level to access heaven. Instead, it may be simpler to recognize the presence of heaven in our current moment. By doing so, we open ourselves to the possibility of encountering more mystical experiences, whether immediately or at some point down the line. Ultimately, this book encourages you to embrace the idea that heaven is not a distant goal, but an ever-present reality, accessible through awareness and acknowledgement of the divine within and around us. It invites you to explore how this understanding can transform your experience of spirituality, making the extraordinary accessible in the ordinary moments of life. In these pages, you will discover spiritual insights that may have been overlooked or yet to be fully explored. I will present rephrasing of scriptures, breaking them down from Hebrew and Greek language word for word, revealing hidden meanings. By bridging the gap between psychology and spirituality, and a little science, this book invites you to delve deeper into your inner self and nurture a greater understanding of your emotions. Whether you're seeking personal growth, healing, or a new perspective on life, you will find valuable tools and wisdom to help you navigate your journey. As you turn the pages, may you find the encouragement and inspiration needed to embrace your unique path and unlock the potential within you. It's important to remember that even if you have a belief system that dismisses others as false, there can still be valuable truths in those different perspectives. Acknowledging that what we may perceive to be untrue can still contain elements of truth allows us to contemplate that the opposing views we deem incredible may still hold insightful values. Throughout my journey, I've learned so much from people with vastly different experiences and beliefs than my own. I've also experienced revelations from God and discovered many hidden meanings and mysteries within the Bible that have deeply shaped my understanding. Even if you disagree with some concepts I present, I'm here to learn from your views too. My hope is to spark conversations around the things we may agree or disagree on. I truly believe that engaging with differing perspectives can lead us all to a greater place of enlightenment. With all my learning, I know there's always more for me to discover, from God, from you, and from the revelations I receive. To avoid any confusion or offense around the term God, I may use the word source throughout this book. In life, I've learned many lessons, but one of the greatest is this: I am a creator, not a victim in this beautiful journey we call life. Life is whatever you make it to be. Today, I choose to embrace that truth. I want to embody the love I seek and be the peace I've been searching for. As you read this book, you might feel challenged by the ideas presented. That's perfectly okay. You may hear a voice within you offering clarity, resonating with your own inner wisdom. This insight comes not from me being a great teacher, but from the deeper wisdom that exists within each of us. If I call myself a teacher, it's just a role I'm playing. My goal isn't to impose my views on you, but to help you recognize the wisdom already inside you. Think of me as a road sign pointing you toward a path. If you connect with what I'm sharing, it's because something within you recognizes that it aligns with your journey, the nature of God and our existence. Let's ponder this. Could it be that what we call God is the architect of the laws that hold creation together? This God is everywhere, existing in and through all things. A wise person once asked, "Who can separate us from God?" If God is truly everywhere, can anything exist outside of Him? It seems that God's presence is woven into the fabric of many beliefs. If we accept this, we might conclude that God resides within us and in all creation, meaning nothing can exist outside of God. In ancient times, King David boldly stated, "Even if my bed is made in hell, you would be there." This suggests that God is always with us, even in our darkest moments. Questions like, what is hell, have sparked debates for centuries. Is hell just a punishment after death, or could it be a state of mind filled with fear and anxiety? I invite you to reflect on these questions based on your beliefs and consider what hell might represent for you. Many things we associate with evil stem from a lack of awareness. Perhaps we can view hell as a state of mind marked by negative feelings like fear and stress. In this context, while hell may also be seen as a real destination after death, it can be understood as a mental condition that embodies suffering and disconnection from one's true self. This perspective allows us to draw a contrast between the kingdom of hell and the kingdom of heaven, where the latter represents peace, love, and connection to the divine. By recognizing hell as a state of mind, we can better understand the importance of awareness and spiritual growth in our lives. This awareness enables us to shift our focus from negative feelings and ego-driven desires to a more fulfilling spiritual connection. Understanding the ego, much of what we experience relates to what Christians call the flesh. When I was younger, I thought my body was sinful and that I needed to go on a huge spiritual journey to fix things. But as I grew up, I learned that flesh refers to human nature or material existence. Other cultures like Hinduism and Buddhism call this the ego. So, what's the ego? It's about identity, the stories we tell ourselves that shape who we are. Your character is a product of your mindset, and that mindset is linked to your level of self-awareness. When you say things like, "I'm a hustler" or "I'm a student," those are just roles you play. They don't define your true self. Our identities come from our beliefs and we can change them, showing there's a bigger version of ourselves waiting to be discovered. Our beliefs influence how we perceive the world. If you feel broke, that feeling can create a struggle, making you think you can't be happy until you achieve certain goals. The search for fulfillment. Have you ever felt that strong craving for fulfillment and security? Often we chase it through fame, money, or trends, driven by what some call the old nature or carnal nature. But here's the exciting part. We can shift our perspective. By embracing a mindset that taps into our inner wisdom, we'll discover that true fulfillment comes from reconnecting with the source within us. How cool is it that the name Jesus, with the title Christ, can mean, "I am that I am saves"? Christ means the anointed one, someone marked by God's Spirit. Maybe Jesus was like a cosmic road sign, guiding us toward deeper understanding. What is sin? Sin can be seen as missing the intended target or being off track. Could it be that sin is simply unbalanced thinking or ignorance? Ignorance can be a form of darkness, as our physical eyes can only see what's in their field of light. Similarly, our inner vision may be limited by our awareness. Just as there is good and poor vision physically, there may also be pure awareness like having 20/20 vision and unawareness that feels like blindness. This is what is expressed marvelously in Matthew 6:22-23. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? In many beliefs, flawed behaviors often result from psychological conditioning. A negative mindset can stem from dark energy or spirit. Negativity rarely produces positivity, so it's often labeled as evil. Evil is anything that opposes good. When we recognize what opposes good, we assume it comes from a lower nature. So where does your nature come from? How do we align our nature with our Creator's intention? What if our true nature is already aligned, but we are unaware due to distorted perceptions, breaking free from illusions? Our thoughts and feelings influence our daily lives. When our programming is distorted, we live in disharmony with our true nature, settling for a false reality based on flawed thinking. For example, when it rains, we might say, "Oh no, rain makes me tired and causes traffic." But is rain really the problem, or do our thoughts about it create the conflict? Maybe in our true nature, we can find peace in all situations, even during challenges. We were made in God's reflection. What can separate us from God? Perhaps nothing but a perception of separation caused by unawareness. It's the illusion of separation that makes us feel disconnected. Tapping into our divine nature. How can we break this illusion? There are many ways, but let's explore how we can tap into our nature as spiritual beings, divine reflections of the Creator. Imagine a powerful DNA that sends waves of peace through the universe, creating connections with the divine. To unlock this divine expression, we need to tune into its frequency. What if this DNA is intertwined with yours, showing you that the key to everything lies within? The mysteries of God are waiting to be activated in your DNA. Your heart and mind are ready to flow in harmony with this divine essence. Just like we can feel emotions like anger or joy, we can also embrace the nature of the source by adopting its life-giving viewpoints. This resonates with the saying, "You have been engrafted as a vine into this branch. You've become one with the divine, and there are no limits for anyone who shares this DNA." This DNA is the key that unlocks awareness in a chaotic world. DNA is the essence of who we are. In some beliefs, there's a figure who claimed to die for the world's mistakes. In his DNA lies a code that unlocks our potential, whispering that life is our greatest teacher. I'm just a vessel for the Creator, sharing wisdom to help you peel away the illusions we wear. Some of us have been shaped by teachings that don't resonate with our true selves, often handed down by institutions focused more on tradition than on nurturing life and truth. In my first book, The Power of the Mind, I laid out the blueprint for uncovering life's sacred truths. In this new book, I want to take you even deeper, sharing insights and methods to help you create a more vibrant and fulfilling life. Let's explore new perspectives together. I hope you find at least one spark in these pages to plant seeds of life in your reality. Many brilliant minds know profound truths, but knowing isn't enough. The real magic happens when you learn to weave these truths into your daily life. Every time you gain knowledge, it's essential to fully embody it. Understand it and apply it consistently. Think of truth like a diet. It can be approached in many ways. For instance, some people may include vegetables in their meals, while others might only eat a small portion or choose to follow a vegetarian lifestyle altogether. How you apply knowledge often reflects your understanding and beliefs about its impact on your life. Consider this your invitation to explore these perspectives. Let me share the principles that have guided me to where I am today. These truths illuminate the universe we live in, waiting for you to embrace them and unleash your fullest potential.